Hey, what it do, y'all? It's your boy E2 Blue coming back at you again. And oh Lord, Monday night, Monday. We all know how Mondays are coming back from the weekend. It seems like the weekends are always so fast. It's like you get to the weekend and it's like, all right, about to rest up, and then you get to get going the weekend, and then all of a sudden you watch Cowboys play like we did on Saturday night, and I'll speak a little bit about that as well. Um, and then you come right back and it's Monday morning, but it is what it is. You make the best of it. At least football is back. It's funny because right now everybody's live streaming. Right now, Vosh, 1980, and Mark Holmes, everybody's live streaming right now. So I'm glad I don't live stream on Monday nights. That's why I chose Thursdays, because nobody else normally live streams on Thursdays. So I can have you guys for myself, because you know I got the least subscribers out of all these guys, so I can't compete with them in live streams. Would nobody watch me? So, but anyway, I just want to weigh in a little bit on the Dak Prescott contract dispute, whatever you want to call it, that everybody's been talking about. But before I get into that, I didn't get a chance to do a post game talk about the first preseason game because, as you guys know, if you were watching Mark Holmes live stream, the game was late. I was tired. So, and then I got busy Sunday dealing with family and the baby and stuff like that. So I had stuff going on. So anyway, um, just a couple of key things I want to talk about the game, and a lot of it is pertaining to Dak Prescott because it's been this whole narrative of, oh, Dak wants all this money, he's not a team player all of a sudden, blah blah blah. But Dak Prescott is in training camp. The one that you need to be worried about is Ezekiel Elliott not being there. Now, I'm not necessarily judging Ezekiel Elliott and saying that he's not a team player, but like I told you guys before, if it were me, if it were my situation, I would definitely be there with my team and talk about a contract extension as well. You know that what we do know is that Dak's situation is way different than Ezekiel Elliott's, and as well as Amari Cooper. Now, what do I think is going to happen? I think that all three of these guys are going to get signed. The Joneses have already talked about how they felt about these guys, and they want these guys on the squad. So, in my opinion, they're going to get their just due. They're going to get on the team. They are going to get signed. It's just a matter of when. Now, Ezekiel Elliott is pretty much the key player here, but as far as the preseason game goes, when you look at Pollard was out there getting it in, doing his thing. He was, I think he was like four. He had four rushes for like 16 yards. Now, again, they only played one drive. That his runs helped them get down the field. Dak threw a couple of deep balls. One of them was a PI. Now, you look at that situation, and I'm looking at the first team, and I'm thinking they're doing good. Now, there's people out here that saying, "Oh, Dak Prescott didn't score on his first drive," blah blah blah. Look at it like this: that one pass that he had, I think that was on the 20-yard line, so they were close to the red zone. So Scott Tony Pollard had a short run in there, which brought it down to the 12-yard line. Dak Prescott threw a ball, and it was going to Blake Jarwin, and it was going to be a touchdown. But the defense made a good play. They batted the ball up, but thank God Dak Prescott got the ball back. But because whenever a ball is batted that the quarterback throws, if he gets the ball back, he can't throw it again. He's got to run with it, or get it out of there, or just go down with it, whatever the situation is. But that would have been a touchdown. So that first drive would have ended in a touchdown if that pass wasn't batted. Again, you got to give props to the 49ers first strength defense for that one. Now, when I look at Dak Prescott, one of the key things, and we talked about this on Big Game James channel last night. Shout out to Big Game James, man, the homie, Silver and Blue Nation, and also shout out to Cowboys Experience as well. You look at that Dak's mechanics, and they've been so much better since John Kitna has become his quarterback's coach. In my opinion, I look at the way that Dak Prescott is playing right now, and he's doing much better. Um, Again, his I told you guys many times before, his issues were all mechanics. They were things that you can fix with coaching, and you could tell that what he had before his coaches, they weren't fitting the bill. They weren't helping him out. So. I look at John Kitna, and John Kitna has been working. You look at how his throws used to be last year and the year before and the year before that. You look at when he threw the ball, his legs were in the air. Even when he was in college, same thing. When he threw the ball, he was off balance. He'll throw the ball and he'll ump it with his leg in the air. You see so many pictures and stop frames of him with his legs spread out like scissors in the air like this, like almost like he's doing jumping jacks when he throws the ball. Now, what I saw in this game was his feet firmly planted on the ground when he passed the ball, and you can see that he had much more zip to it. Him connecting with Michael Gallup and stuff. Michael Gallup looked really good on that play. Now, this is my thing. People were criticizing that, saying Dak Prescott, same old, same old. I don't know what the hell you guys are looking at, the ones that are criticizing that. But if you don't, people, and maybe it's just people that don't know much about football, I don't know. But again, if you don't know, ask the questions. Don't just come out here just saying stuff off the top of your head because you think what it is. But my whole thing is this: you look at Dak Prescott and you look at the things that he's worked on, and I'm happy for what I'm seeing. Some people said, "Oh, well, Kellen Moore, I didn't see anything from Kellen Moore." Well, I've told you guys many times, you're not going to see anything from Kellen Moore until the first regular season game when we play the Giants. That's it. What you're going to see right now is there's no game planning in this game. No team is game planning in preseason. There's shell of plays. They're basically just doing skeleton plays because it's simple stuff, basic stuff to try to get these young guys to just it's talent evaluation. That's what it is. That's all it's for. So these young guys can play and see what they can do. Now, as far as Dak Prescott getting his money, we talked about this back in May, and I'm gonna clarify some things. And hopefully, you got it will be a little bit more understanding to you guys when I explain it like this, because I don't think nobody else is talking about it like this. Uh, Anything that I heard anyway, but from my experience and listening to the contract talks and knowing how Dak Prescott is, and the things that transpired earlier in the offseason, the Cowboys we know as well. Of course, it went on the Twitter war, but again, it's Twitter. People are just gonna Twitter finger all day. They're gonna Twitter all day. You look at the contract; they offered him $30 million, and the report was that he denied the 30 million. Well, sometimes things are not what they seem. You and I look at that, and I know that you and I will look at that and be like, he denied $30 million. Who denies $30 million that's not making more than $30 million or hasn't made that much money in their career yet? Shit, I'm gonna take whatever you give me at this point, but that's just me because I'm broke. But as far as Dak Prescott goes, this is not Dak Prescott making these demands. Just so you guys know, it is the agent. And hear me out when I say this. We already know that Dak wants somewhere in between a 32 and 34. Though that is the number that he brought to the table. He himself brought to the table back in May. All right? Back when my son was born, that's when he said uh he wanted 32 to 34 mil. So the 32-34 range is what Dak would be getting. Now, the reports about him denying the $30 million, you look at it like this. I don't think that he denied the 30 mil because it's 30 mil. He probably would have took it, but there's more to a contract than what you get yearly or annually, I should say. Um, you're talking about guaranteed money. You're talking about the years put onto the contract. Is it a 3 year deal? Is it a 4 year deal? Is it a 5 year deal? Is it a 6 year deal? What are the guarantees? Is he guaranteed 56 mil, 87, or 100 mil? What is the guaranteed money? That is what drives the players to these contracts, not just the annual salary, but the guarantees, the and the performance incentives as well. Don't forget about the performance incentives. That's um, games played. That's performance as far as touchdowns and passing yards, and staying healthy. You can get incentives for these things depending on how your contract is structured. And again, we know that the agents are fully behind this. I heard somebody say that, oh, the agents just they just they just oversee things. It's the player that does all that. No. Why the hell would you have an agent if your agent is not doing everything? These You're talking about guys in their early to mid 20s that are getting these contracts. They don't know nothing about millions of dollars. Hell, I don't even know about millions of dollars, and I'm in my mid 30s. So when you look at the contracts, you have to understand that the agents are the ones driving this. Now, let's fast forward to today. News came out that he wanted $40 million. Again, that's Dak Prescott asking for $40 million. That is his agent. It is every player's agent job to get every bit of money that they think that they can out of a team. One rule of thumb when you're an agent or when you're negotiating a contract, you 9 times out of 10 you're not accepting the first offer you get unless it's something like a small contract, like when Randall Cobb came to the team and them offering $5 million a year. That's different. When you have a guy that's negotiating, that's a core member of your team, 9 times out of 10 their agent is not, because they're going to try to get you to lowball. It's a market value. You look at the market for starting quarterback in the league right now. It's between 30 and 35 right now. That is the median right there. So annually, that's the money annually. Now, if they can come to a consensus of, and I think that if it were me, I would offer him 32 mil, with some type of, maybe 57 mil guaranteed, 5 years. Add another 5 years to his last year contract. Now, that's what I would do if it were me. Um, but again, that 40 mil, that's the agent saying that. Dak Prescott never said anything about 40 mil himself. He's not the one that's demanding the 40 mil. So just get that out your mind, guys. It is the agent. They're going to negotiate somewhere in between that number, but it's not going to be as high as 40 and it's not going to be as low as 30. So if that clarified things for you guys, let me know what you think in the comments about that. But I am excited and I am happy from what I've seen. Mike White looked like crap out there, but he also said that, hey, I ain't played in a year, and it's true. When you're a backup quarterback, you don't play. And it's all about experience and getting out there and playing. They're not getting out there and playing, so it takes time for them to get into a groove. Yes, he looked bad, but I mean, if he has another bad game, then we know that Mike White probably won't make this team. I like what Cooper Rush did, and I was telling you guys before, I seen what Cooper Rush did when his rookie year in a backup role in preseason. He looks like he's getting back to that rookie form. So I like Cooper Rush. I always have. I never had any qualms about it. But for whatever reason, Mike White just hasn't fit the bill for this team or this NFL. Actually, the tight end that we got that only had 1 year of pro experience, well, college experience, I should say, Cody McElroy. He was actually catching a couple of passes out there. Now, his blocking is kind of suspect right now, but again, that's something that you can teach. But he's been catching the ball, and he trying to make this team too. So, guys, about this whole Dak Prescott thing, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Hey, thanks again, all my subscribers. Appreciate you guys. If you're new to the channel, it's your boy YouTube Blue. Like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, man, because it helps out the channel, man. And I'm gonna keep giving you this content and my smart analysis, because this is what I do. I study, I research, I look at different things, and I don't play no games when it comes to the stuff that I talk about. I'm serious about this. So with that being said, y'all, it's your boy E2 Blue, always keeping it real. I'll talk to y'all soon. Y'all have a great Monday.